as the Ordinance. It seemed that you uncovered information that indicated that someone within the Shardlight district is infecting people with these vampiric mind flayer tadpoles, and this included Theo Calvers. You got to him in the nick of time and brought him back to Vellum Heights to get in with a healer. So, with that, you managed to get to a safe space where you could lick your wounds, and you were told by Marion that the morning afterwards, you would have a rendezvous with basically a Ledgerman resupply. So, as the morning begins, as you all wake up and have your breakfasts and get ready for the day, you will be accompanied by Horus, your Goliath handler on the side of the Ledgerman, who is basically going to have materials and a resupply. So as we start, you will all have access to the items that you have purchased from the Ledgerman, with a company discount, of course. So mark off whatever gold, and you will be giving a brief report to Horus about everything that you found as we start our day. So we could say that is there anything that you guys wish to withhold or spin in any way as you report to Horus?
I probably shouldn't do any of the talking.
Okay.
I say we play it straight. There's nothing
Same.
that we
Okay.
need to hide.
We didn't ask to get hired for this job. It's not our fault if we're doing terrible at it.
No, you guys have done well. I'll say Horus is actually going to be almost a little surprised with how well you've done so far. So with that, he's going to kind of lean over a table and just say, well, you've done quite well so far. I am going to let you know that because I am technically your taskmaster, that there's a bit of a time limit for getting this job done. The organization has little faith regarding your appointment, as that was made clear during your commencement. I'd say you've got about a week's time before they send another crew here. I know that doesn't give you much time, and to be honest, if this was any other Ledgerman outfit, they might not have been breathing down your neck so hard, but that's just the way of the world, isn't it? So, you got a week. Find the root cause of this and fix it. Do we think we can get that done?
We know enough to start moving in the right direction, I think.
And as you may have learned, your appointment was controversial, and some people within the Sanctiforge might use that as an excuse to attempt to waylay the authority of the Ledgerman. So just be careful, but don't take any shit. And then he looks over at Chuck and just says, and don't do anything stupid. I don't need us starting any wars that we don't need. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So it seems pretty obvious that this Elvire guy is at the bottom of all this. You have mine and the guild's backing as far as bringing him in, dead or alive.
Do you have any more information on his background?
Uh, well, I can ask some of the diviners to start looking into things. It may take a couple days for them to get this information. And like I said, we're on a pretty tight timetable. I can send a message and have them get started. What sorts of things would you be specifically looking for?
I'm most interested in his history with the Black Armada, but
Um, I mean, his record is public. That should be much easier to get. I'll see if I can send you something by the end of the day. Other than that, I will say I've got reports specifically on the Shard Light District. And you watch as he begins kind of flipping through some papers. So it looks like that well water. I had some of the architects pull blueprints. That connects to a larger cathedral that's known as the Temple of Aqua Vitae.
Wow.
Whatever is going on in that well, the center of it is probably within that temple. Now, I don't know what it is you would expect to find within, but if you were to end this thing, I think that would be a good start. So it's up to you as to whether you want to just kick the door down and see where that goes, or see if you've got any ideas regarding searching for more information. But as far as I'm concerned, you've got my backing for taking in Mr. Elvire. So, do you have, is there anything else that the guild can do to support you?
You mean like taking him in right now?
Within the week, somebody's going down for this.
does the name Lessa mean anything?
As you say that, you might notice Sal flinch for a second. Horace looks at you and says, "No, I can't say that it does." So, if that's all, just keep doing what you're doing. And try to get to the bottom of why this is happening. It definitely seems like Elvire is culpable here, but we still don't have a clear motive. And I'd like to have that solved so that we can prevent something like this from happening again.
We'll check out the temple and report back with anything we find.
With that, he stands up and says, "You know, it's, like I said, there's a lot of people within the agency that don't really believe in this crew. But maybe it's a sign, you know? The Oracle picked you, and here you are in the city of the Oracle. Perhaps, perhaps it's a sign. Maybe the Founder's with you all." If you believe in that sort of thing.
Yes.
All right, Ledgerman, just get the job done. Gives you an awkward nod, and then leaves the supplies out for you, and then goes on his way.
As he's leaving, I'd like to run up to him.
Okay.
Hey, You know, before I was whisked away with the Ledgerman, I was with the 181st. And we were in the desert.
I am very well aware of your service history.
Did anyone else make it out?
Give me a persuasion check.
All right, starting off with a natty.
The birthday miracle.
Not my birthday.
I know. But just
He
Rubbing off.
sees like the earnest look in your face, and you see initially as you approach him, he's got a little bit of a look of frustration. You definitely get the sense that he got the report of everything that went down between yourself and the Steel Covenant officers, and after seeing the earnest look in your eye, he says, "You know, before all this, I served in the Covenant myself. For whatever reason, the Ledgerman, us Steel Covenant, are not as often desirable. There seems to be a lot more of an association between the Blackwater tribe, and the point is, I get it. I don't know, but I'll look into it. Okay."
Means a lot. Thank you.
He pats you on the shoulder and he's huge because he's Goliath. He kind of bends down to get on your level, and he says, just be careful out there. All right? This isn't the desert anymore. You don't just go off shooting and pistol whipping everybody. We have to act with some sense of subtlety. Ideally, the way I think about it is you don't want anyone to even know that the Ledgermen have come and gone. So you don't go around showing the badge unless you really have to. It's sort of important that this organization keeps its reputation the way it is. Because I promise you, come tax day, you're going to be thankful for that.
All right. I'll
And he
try.
just gives like a hard pat on the shoulder and just says, "All right, good man," and turns and walks away.
So we know one place to look. It's sort of the heart of it all, it seems.
So we know that the water comes from the temple, but we also know that there is like a group of these vampire mind flayers, right? There's like a hive, or like a, you know. Should we be looking for that too?
Probably. Wouldn't be a bad idea. But I'd say, one's probably with the other.
So, who's ready to go to church?
Yet then, Eric looks down at his disgustingly inappropriate clothes. If they don't mind, I suppose.
We do have the luxury of time this go around, and I wonder if maybe the plan shouldn't be to walk into the front door of whatever stronghold they have.
Well, we're just some pilgrims. Taking a tour. Going to all
I
the
mean-
major sites. Temple's one of them, isn't it?
Thassin knows us, and I'm pretty sure he knows what we are here to do. He made it very clear last time we encountered him.
Yeah, but he's at the well, right? Giving out water.
I'm sure he could be in a different spot by now.
I guess. So maybe we go a little quieter.
I'm just saying, I don't know if it's much of a plan to just walk to the center of wherever all of this is starting.
We can try to
So
grab
what's your
someone.
idea?
Grab
Say
someone
that in
that's not top of the line. Someone who knows stuff. We have a week. It's enough time to watch.
No, we gotta be done in a week.
Well, what's a day? Watching for
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if our yeah, I mean we could take a day, take a little watch.
Take a day, take a watch, take a hostage.
Maybe see if there's another entrance than just the front. You know. Stake out. What do you think, Mazrin?
Yes, I would have to agree with Luminora that we probably made somewhat of a reputation for ourselves, so I think a little recon, at least at first, would do us well before we formulate a solid plan here.
Alright.
Is anyone wearing a backpack? Does anyone have a pack on them? Are
I
we
think
all
I do.
bareback in it?
What do you need?
To not have to carry around 60 feet of rope
Yeah, I have a
on
bag.
my hip. Yeah, Yeden will walk over to your back. Sorry, I assume this is alright. I got it, but I don't really want to carry it around.
Yeah, that's fine.
Plop it in there.
Okay.
To church.
So with that, the day is yours. Marion and Theo are still presumably like kind of recovering within the sanctum. So where are you all headed? What are you doing?
I mean, we want to stake out the temple, so we gotta get headed in that direction. Anyways.
Okay. So what is your general approach here? Are you kind of like, are you rolling deep? Everyone's going to the temple and you're just gonna like casually walk around? Or
Well, we
are
have
you
this map that I made.
Yeah.
What area
Also,
is the temple in?
It's in the Shardlight District. Finding the temple is not going to be tough at all. I just want to know what the like general approach is.
I mean, is there a like an alley way that we can kind of get eyes on it without going down like a main thoroughfare?
I'll be honest, you can see the temple from the heights. Like you've got an overlook that you can see the entirety of the city. It's one of the larger structures within the Shardlight District.
Yeah, but we gotta be able to get to a place where we can see who's coming and going, that kind of stuff, right?
I see. So we'll say
I
you
assume
guys-
that's what the plan is, right?
Yeah, stay on the. Stay
And
on
aren't
the
there a lot of
outskirts.
abandoned buildings in this district in general? So maybe we're trying to like get a good spot to do a little stakeout.
Totally an approach.
Is
So
is the district kind of like a downtrodden vibe? I can't remember. Is it a little?
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there something that is there like some sort of not costume but like garb that the average person is wearing here?
So yeah, so people in the Shardlight district generally are wearing like filthy rags.
Okay. Well,
Unless they're with the clergy, you'll every once in a while see people with like pristine white robes. But for the most part, it's just people that are like very much in the throes of poverty.
okay. Well, it's a good thing I just got this cloak of many fashions that I think will serve me well now. Not standing next to
Okay.
all of you guys. I might do my own
Yeah, I
thing
was gonna
here.
say can't relate.
Yeah. So this is why I ask. So Mazrin, are you going to use your cloak of many fashions to try to copy the?
Yeah, I think if the plan is the plan, I asked the group to go just be in the near proximity of the temple.
I mean, I think we should during the day,
Okay.
maybe,
Okay.
and I think maybe that tonight we should try and get a closer look at maybe like the back or the sides. Try and find maybe a different entrance or exit.
Okay, so during the day, I think I will break off from the rest of the group and see if I can make my own observations.
Okay. So are we? So it looks like the group. You guys are splitting into like 4 and 1.
Um,
I mean, actually, Yedden
yeah.
might.
Yeah, he
Uh,
might fit in.
He's kind of dirty.
Got worker clothes.
Yeah,
on.
Mazrin just like looks at the rest of the group and just Yedin, you wanna come with?
So Luminar and Sal and I will find an abandoned building where we can see the temple and kind of hunker down in there. And then you guys can kind of walk around the streets and maybe get a feel for the general public.
So I'm gonna make sure I understand. It sounds like you guys are trying to do like a proper stakeout where you get a vantage point, and you're spending. It sounds like an extended period of time to attempt to just like learn what you can about what's going on with this temple.
Where
Yes.
people are coming in, where they're coming out. If there's,
Yeah.
I still think it would be useful to nab someone that's alone that maybe can tell
Yeah.
us
I think
information.
that
Yeah.
might be a better thing to try and do at night.
Yeah.
The nabbing.
Well,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. We'll go Luminora and Chuck. Give me a survival check.
Ooh, good for us.
Adequate.
24.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
High five.
Yeah. You guys work in tandem and almost like you've been doing this for a really long time. You immediately kind of narrow it down between 3 suitable locations and then ultimately land on one that isn't quite the best for looking at the front or the back entrance, but one that you can see both. So on average, it's just kind of the best all-around structure that you can see. It's a abandoned, what looks like an apartment complex, where it's got an upper level and a rooftop. So you're up on the roof, kind of on your own. Presumably, you've brought some snacks for your stakeout. You find a nice spot to get comfy, and you're watching from an overwatch position, and the people on the street can't really see you.
It's an abandoned building.
Mm-hmm.
As we're going up to the roof, can I make a few checks through rooms to find small bits of metal and things?
Yeah. Give
If
me
you
an
might.
investigation check.
That is 13.
13, yeah. You find some pots and pans. So Luminar, we'll say you guys set up, and then after a while, Chuck quietly kind of slips away, and then you hear the clattering of metal as he comes back with just like a hand sack that he just kind of loosely collected all these pots and pans that clatter on the floor. And you watch as he just reaches out, and crawling from off his arm and sleeve, there's this tiny little like blocky construct that jumps off and just ravenously attacks one of these pots. And you watch as he just like begins biting it and begins just ripping through the metal, just eating it. Um, After a short period of time, he just makes it through like a large like cast iron cooking pot, and then he starts on another pan and then just kind of stops for a second and then just like gets down on all fours and then just starts regurgitating ammo.
Well, at least it doesn't come out of the other end.
Yeah, I've never seen one of these before. We gotta name him though. He's like our little buddy. I think maybe Mr. Chompy.
It's a magical construct.
I don't know what magic. I mean, I assume.
I mean, you can name it magical construct if you want, but it's. I
No,
mean, it's technically not.
I'm
No,
no,
it's fine. Mr. Chompy is a great name for that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
chomps up the metal. Yeah, who would call it magical construct? That's boring.
No, that was not the name I was. Yes, of course.
What's your name you're suggesting?
No, I was suggesting you forego a name because it is not. Never mind. It doesn't. Were there any like cloaks or sheets down there? I'm just gonna grab something to blend in a little bit better. She's gonna walk off.
I didn't even look.
Yeah, Luminara, as you recuse yourself from this conversation, you can easily find some cloaks and rags and things like that to give you like a. We'll say you got kind of this large poncho that you kind of fashion that just kind of covers your more nobleman's robes.
Very cool.
So
And
with
then
that,
can I also, whatever is like the closest choke point or area that people would cross to get to wherever we're hanging out, put an alarm spell on it.
okay, that's going to protect your vantage point.
Yeah, so in case anyone's sneaking up on us.
Yep. Easy to do.
Does my rifle have a scope?
Nope.
Cool.
So Mr. Chompies is going to generate 12 units of ammunition. And he'll just kind of gather them all up as he's kind of holding them. Some are spilling out as he's just walking them over to you and very proudly presents his work.
Way to go, Mr. Chompy.
Perfect. So we'll go back to you. We'll go to now Mazarin and
Yedin.
it's really hard for me not to say Cass and Yedin. It sounds like you guys are trying to get a little closer. What specifically information are you trying to get? What are you looking for?
I guess we're just looking for people that are coming and going into the temple, and what kind of people those are, and if there's any like points of vulnerability, like unguarded doors or something a little less conspicuous.
Okay, so I'll start out by go ahead and give me a stealth or performance check. Mazarin, I'm going to give you advantage for your apt disguise. Yet, you'll be at neutral for your not disguise, but also not terribly standing out.
I was gonna say before we get too close, if there were any sleeping vagrants around, you know, burning barrels or something, I could borrow some of their clothes, make a trade.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that you do find some sleeping vagrants. Do you want to try a sleight of hand check to do a quick swap here?
Yeah, he's just looking for a large piece of cloth, something, a blanket, a cloak, robe.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
22.
Okay. Super easily, you could just grab like a soiled rag that could be used as a cloak that's just kind of hanging along someone's just pile of belongings. Are you leaving anything?
Yeah, the fancy flask.
Okay. You leave the fancy flask. And I'll say your disguise is not like a proper disguise that was applied with like a disguise kit or like, some kind of effect, but I will give you a D4 bonus to your roll.
Just trying to make myself less recognizable. Well, I guess that's the point of a disguise.
All right, so what are your stealth rolls?
15.
28.
Jesus.
Wowzers.
Already with this. Okay. So you are pretty well. You're able to pretty much weave through wherever you want to go. I will say, Madrin, you watch as Yedin is putting on a master class of blending in with a crowd. As you watch as he is just getting into like, he's kind of just Assassin's Creeding his way like through multiple crowds. Where like you see this delegation of clerics in white robes that begin entering the temple, as there's this small group of vagrants that's just walking by, and you watch as Yedin just seamlessly moves from one and just completely disappears in this small crowd, and then like pops out and just slowly follows the clerics to kind of get a view of what's going on. It's kind of impressive seeing this little guy just. It's a very, very shady. The way he's moving is. Yeah, he's he's sneaky.
Noted.
So, with that, give me investigation checks. Yedin, I'm going to give you advantage on yours.
Okay. 23.
16.
Okay. So we'll start with Mazrin. You are noticing that there are basically two kinds of people that are going into this temple. There are clerics that all seem to be wearing the same attire. You get the sense they may be with one of these specific like subsects of the Hands of the Founder. But they tend to be wearing all white. And you do notice that a lot of them are carrying buckets. And they'll come in with an empty bucket and leave with a full bucket. You can vaguely kind of hear them reciting some scripture from the Manuals of Ascension as you walk by them. It also looks like this is a public place and people can just walk into the temple. It's a public place of worship. It's not like this super fortified location or anything like that. Yedin, we'll say that because you got much closer, you would learn a couple things. First off, you would hear some whispers, and this cloister of worshippers are referred to as water saints. They generally, you hear them reciting prayers as you get close. You do hear them mention the term divine hydraulics. You hear the name that there's a high priestess, Mother Varlane, that is in the lower levels. So you definitely get the sense that there is there's an underground to this temple that seems to be where a lot of this activity is stemming from. You would also know that after following some people for a while, you do see a single individual not go through the front, but begin moving around the side. And after following them, you would see that in the back of the temple, there's looks like a small cemetery. And you watch as this person enters the cemetery, kind of looks around, and then enters a small chamber, like an outside chamber, and then disappears and doesn't come out. And as you peek in, there's no one there.
Okay.
With that, we're going to go back to the two on Overwatch. You will notice, with enough time, yeah, you've seen some people go through the front, the Cloister of the Water Saints, and then some of your typical Shardlight vagrants moving in and out. There is a heavy presence of ordnance here. Those are the heavily armored individuals that you stormed the prison. It seems disproportionate to any kind of activity going around here, specifically in the outskirts of the temple itself. It seems like they're trying to maintain some kind of distance from the temple for whatever reason, but just like one alley over, you count in a span of, say, 5 minutes, about 6 separate ordnance patrols that interweave through the central plaza with the temple itself. So there's a heavy policing force close by to this area. As you are watching all this happen, you see... James, are you saying something?
Go ahead.
As you're watching this, you see a familiar form. You see Thassin Elvire begin to walk from the west towards the front of the temple. He is flanked by 2 ordnance, and he is actually heavily armored. And you see at his back, he's carrying a massive greatsword. It looks like he's got what looks like some modified Steel Covenant shock armor on. So it looks like he either, whether it was through his naval days, if he was one of the Navy shock troops or something like that, but there's etched in scriptures. The paint has all been scraped off or just worn through time. But this dude is decked out for war. And he just begins walking through the front gate as a cloister kind of parts to let him through. And as he comes through, you see that there's this look of reverence towards him. As there's just this look of joy and elation from the cloister as he enters, and they all begin just reaching for him and kind of touching his armor. And he smiles and is cordial, and for a second that focused look breaks as he briefly greets the cloister and then walks in the front entrance.
Shit.
Quite a bit of armor on a man of the Founder.
Yeah. I wish there was a way. We should have figured out a way to communicate with Mazrin and Yedin. It's getting real hot down there. Sure, it's a lot of police for a
Sure,
temple.
they'll. Yeah, certainly. I mean, Mazarin looked like she was blending in quite well, and apparently Yedin can walk through walls, so I'm sure they'll be fine.
Matter of fact, I haven't seen Yedin since we've been up here. I mean, every once in a while I can spot Mazarin, but Yedin's a ghost.
I mean, yeah, he's in many ways turned into a shadow. So,
I mean, I meant that figuratively, but yeah. I wonder what. There's got to be a reason he's all decked out. You don't put that kind of armor on and carry a sword around if you're preaching the word and helping the needy.
yeah, that looked like a man that is prepared for war.
That, or we really spooked him,
Yeah,
which I doubt.
maybe he got wind of the prison break in Theodore.
It's possible. If that's true, though, I mean, with the amount of security here,
That's a
that
lot.
orc's dead. I mean, they would have killed him, right?
Probably. So I don't know.
I mean, if it was you, put yourself in those shoes. You can't have somebody running their mouth off about your fucking secret vampire mind flare army,
Hey,
right?
yes, he did make it sound like he had an escape plan. So, we held up and did the bargain.
Oh, I'm not gonna shed any tears over that guy. He was evil. I mean, like, selling those fucking things.
So why is Thassin? I mean, he's essentially making an army, and appears how he appears. This seems like he might be preparing for something bigger than we ever expected. Is that my understanding?
I mean, if you were Thassin, what would you need an army for?
Well, if I was Thassin and I believed that people have lost their way and no longer are following the word of the founder as they are meant to be, maybe I take control of the city and enforce religion in my way. I don't know. These people are not very logical in their
I mean, if you ask me, it seems like, if anything, this city is already following the way.
Well, he made it sound like that was not the way he thought it should be followed. While we're talking, I'm going to work on casting Find Familiar and changing my familiar from a bat to a spider.
Okay,
Ooh,
easy to do.
sneaky. I mean, sure, he could, but okay. If he's making an army of Mind Flare vampires, I mean, they have to be in the dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's already got, as we can see here, control of the police. So, enforcing a, police state here is already, he already has capability. But what about using those Mind Flare vampires in a different city? letting them loose somewhere else.
Maybe we will only know once we take him out and figure out his records.
They gave us a week. Figure this
Yeah.
out. I don't know if we got that much time.
That's fair. We'll see what Yedinerik and Mazarin learn, and
Yeah. But that poncho looks good on you. Should maybe get like a fancy one later.
the little, yeah, maybe, I don't know. That's dustier than I'm used to. Oh, could you take a look at this also? She like pulls up her thing to look at the wound on her side.
What's it look like?
Well, it is in the process of healing. It looks okay. It's been properly dressed. So you don't have much to say, but it just seems like you're beginning to notice Luminore's got a weird thing with like wounds or being wounded. Like she doesn't know how to stop bleeding and doesn't really. So the wound looks fine, and you don't really know what she's asking right now.
Okay, I mean it looks like it's healing. Again, I'm not a doctor, but what do you mean? What's the question you're asking me?
Oh, well, I don't really know what to do with it.
What do you never been like cut before?
Not like this.
Okay, you know you're supposed to like clean it, right? Keep it clean. Try to keep it dry. Don't get dirt in it and shit.
So just
Uh,
like, yeah, that's, I mean, I tried to do that with my entire body, so that makes perfect
yeah,
sense.
no, yeah. No, that's good. And
Perfect.
you know,
Okay. Yeah, I
keep
can
it.
do that.
You know, didn't like teach you first aid or anything?
No.
Did you practice with real swords?
Yes. I
And you
have
never
had
got cut.
many. Oh, no, I've been very severely wounded before.
And what do they do? Let you bleed out?
Well, no, then I get pruned and then I bleed out.
What do you mean pruned?
It's like a Cathari ritual, and then you get a new body, so you don't really deal with the wounds
Whoa.
afterwards.
What?
I mean, I'm not going to belabor the rituals of my house, but it's,
You get a new body?
yes,
Like completely, entirely. Like, take your brain, put it in a different body.
yes.
How?
It's a magical ritual. I'm not, again, not going to belabor the point of it. It's just I'm not really used to dealing with the aftermath of the wounds, and so I just don't.
Know what to do.
Yep.
Okay. Well, keep it clean. And if you want, you can ask me and I'll look at it, tomorrow.
How long is this gonna take?
You're gonna have a scar. And it's gonna take a while.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, I mean, unless you can find a new body somewhere around here.
No, I doubt they have that. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Keep it clean, keep it dry.
Yeah, make sure it's not bleeding all over the place.
Don't bleed everywhere. Noted.
I mean, yeah. Does it hurt?
Yes, but that is not a problem.
You know, I thought Sal was the weird one.
Sal is certainly the weird one. I mean, this is from my perspective, this is very normal. So, I don't know. Everybody's raised differently. What can I say? I'm sure your house had interesting rituals as well. And I mean, Mazarin can move stuff with her mind, and it doesn't even look like she does it with wizard spells. So, I don't. Every one of us have weird little quirks.
Yeah. I guess. I don't remember.
Remember when Yedin walked through a wall? Didn't see
No,
that
I
coming.
mean, I don't remember weird rituals from my
Oh.
childhood.
Oh. Do you remember your childhood in general?
I remember basic training.
You do that when you were in your teens?
Nah. I mean, might have been 19 or 20.
So you don't remember 2 decades of your life?
You know, I got a lot of stuff happened in the war. You know?
Yeah.
So maybe I got injured or something. Doesn't matter. I mean, I learned how to make weapons at some point as a child. So I could still do that. Smithing.
Yeah.
But
Your family, do you remember them?
sometimes I don't know. We gotta keep watch.
As right as you say that, Chuck, I would say all of you feel this pulse. It seems to come from underground, and somehow you just get this immediate sense of dread, like you are seen. Like you're in the dark, you are in disguises, you are in an elevated position, whatever it is, you just feel like you've got this spotlight on you, and it is very, very unnerving.
Chuck hits the deck.
Okay, you do. It doesn't really help, and then that sensation after a few seconds just slowly goes away. Not entirely, but you don't feel that immediate panic. We'll go to Mazarin and Yedin now. What are the two of you doing after this has happened?
Mazarin's going to start kind of looking for Yedineric after that feeling, because she wants to get out of here.
Yeah, he's walking back from what looks like the further back of the temple. And he locks eyes with you and just taps the side of his head.
Mazarin attempts to speak with him telepathically.
Right, good. Glad you got that. So I found another way in, and I don't know what the fuck that just was. But probably shouldn't stay here much longer.
You've been blocking me out this whole time. Okay. Rude, but yeah, perfect. I think we should get out of here. I'm feeling weird about this.
Alright, let's find a group, go out the front.
Okay, let's go. And so Mazrin's gonna start making her way back to where we split off from the group, which I don't know if that's where Luminora and Charles are.
We'll say that you'll know where they are. They kind of pointed out
Okay.
which building they would go into. So with that, Luminora, you hear your alarm spell go off as you see your party members rejoin you.
Guys, we need to move.
I agree. I'm not feeling so safe about this anymore.
Let's go a couple streets over, find a new building, just kind of go over what we realize together. Get the info we got.
Okay. Would that be... What's the place where we left Miriam and Theo in?
Vellum.
The
Vellum
Sanctum?
Heights?
Vellum Heights? Should we head back to Vellum Heights, or should we just...
No, I mean, I thought we were
I think we
gonna
just-
stick around here till nightfall, right?
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, let's just
So let's.
go to a pub and have a drink and partake
I
in
don't
whatever
think there are any
degenerate
pubs out here.
activities.
There's no
Okay.
degeneracy.
Unfortunately, there is very little of that kind of degeneracy here. I will say you can. It's already getting a little. Well, so you've spent a couple of hours at this point. I mean, as far as nightfall goes, like in the mid-afternoon when the sun just gets slightly low between the smog produced by this portion of the city and just the soot in the air, it is essentially dark right now. There's like a heavy overcast. And just with the grays of the streets, already most of the denizens of the Shardlight District tend to just melt into the background, which you all could also do at this point.
We still need to discuss this.
Oh, maybe we find a vantage point that whatever Yedin saw, we find a better hideout that is looking closer at that.
Yeah, yeah. And you said you sound another entrance.
Yeah, there's a graveyard in the back. Seems people are moving in and out of it.
Wonderful. Nothing better than a nighttime graveyard party.
Whatever is actually going on there is happening below the church, so if we go down there, I don't want to go down there. Unless
Why
we're
not?
prepared to.
Well, I think right now we're just staking it out more, right? Just closer.
Well, somebody's got to come up from out of there, right? So maybe
Yeah.
we nab one of them, find out what is going on, so that we know what we need, so we can prepare ourselves.
And what are we going to do with the hostage in the meanwhile, while we go do the thing that we're trying to do?
Oh, I assume we would kill them when we were done.
I
Getting
too thought the
information.
same thing.
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, well, I guess that sort of ties that up. Okay. Shall we go stake out the cemetery?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily
say
do
that.
the stakeout in the cemetery.
No, but you know,
Yeah, we'll find
lay
a good
eyes on the cemetery.
Yeah.
find a good vantage point.
You know what we should have got? Binoculars. Didn't even think of it. Well, next time. I pull out the
So can
map.
we find a? Oh yeah, perfect.
Oh, this building looks like it might overlook the cemetery. We could take this back alley, cut over here, and should bring us right to the back of that. Don't know if it's abandoned or not, but find out when we get there.
I think I might be able to help if it isn't.
I mean, there's multiple buildings.
He said what he said.
Or we can be
Yeah.
boring, sure.
I mean, we don't want to alert the fucking secret police around here. Didn't you guys see all those cops when you were down here?
Did we?
Yeah, did we see
Do
those
I
people
recall seeing
moving
any
in?
cops?
I would say you guys didn't because it was really on the higher vantage point where they would see them further away. They aren't in the plaza, they're just close by.
Well, there's a lot of police around here. A strange number of police to be around a temple. That's just me, though. Like, didn't you see the police escorting? What's that guy's name again?
Elvira? Thassin Elvira?
Yeah, there were two. Did you guys see him decked out? Full
No, we
armor,
didn't.
big
Very
ass
odd.
sword.
No.
He was full armor.
Well, I presume I could be wrong that it has something to do with us, since he's aware that our presence here could threaten his mission.
Or he's getting ready for a battle. Either way, we just need to be careful.
Yeah.
He's using these tadpoles to turn people into strange things.
Vampire mind flayers.
Yeah, or something that has a lot of mouths where it shouldn't.
Oh, there's that one too.
But we've only seen two.
So there might be more.
There
Well,
were
I
more
guess-
mind flayers in the jail, weren't there?
Oh, there was one, yeah. I guess what I'm saying is, where are all these creatures, you know?
Well, that's why we gotta grab one of those people that come from underneath. And I'm pretty sure Mazarin has ways of getting information from people. If not, we could do it the old-fashioned way.
I mean, I'm not the most effective interrogator, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As far as what I saw was what looked to be routine. I saw clerics dressed in white. They were holding buckets, and
Full
they were
buckets?
coming out. Well, they were going in empty, and they were coming out full. So there's some sort of source inside of the temple that they're filling up their buckets with.
Well, isn't that why we're staking out the temple? That's where that well was getting its It's waterfront, right?
Yeah, presumably. Did I see where they were where they were going with the full buckets?
No, they just throughout the city. Like,
Okay.
Hmm. Let's get over to that building. We can watch a graveyard.
I have to go, y'all, but I would like to contribute. I have hold person prepared for your kidnapping. Good luck.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
okay.
Bye.
All right. So with that, you're all heading towards the graveyard.
Yeah, we'd like to find an abandoned building with a line of sight.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You're staking out the graveyard. There is zero activity in the graveyard.
Cool. Ah, Charles is gonna roll a cigarette.
Okay. You can roll yourself a cigarette and have a relaxing smoke. We'll say minutes go by, about an hour or so goes by, and there's just nothing. It's now very dark.
Well, guys. What do you want to do? You want to try and go in? Or do we want to take shifts? Sleeping and watching.
If we see someone coming or going, are we just gonna go pounce on them? I mean, we're kind of far away.
I mean, isn't that the plan?
I mean, I think at this rate, maybe we should just get closer and maybe
Okay.
try to enter. What do you guys think?
I mean, sounds good to me. Yeah.
Enter the graveyard? Or the crypt?
Yeah, the back entrance. Do we have vantage point on the rest of the temple, like the main entrance of the temple?
No. You're in the back.
I think we should try and go down. Maybe do our own surveillance.
Okay. I agree.
Alright. Yeah, I guess get as close as we can. First
Yeah.
person we see that's alone. Bag over the head.
The graveyard is completely dead. There is no one inside of it. So as you walk into the graveyard, you're the only ones here, and it is dead quiet.
Where's the
now, especially
entrance?
that it's gotten later, even you're noticing like peeking over the building, there's much less foot traffic to the temple. It seems like the only people out tend to be like some ordnance in the distance. You do see the crypt where someone went in and disappeared, but yeah, outside of that, it's completely dead.
Just wanna check out the crib.
Mioden will sneak upwards and poke his head in, make sure it's empty, and wave them in if it is.
Yeah, you poke your head in, it's completely empty.
Chuck will follow behind and unholster his pistol.
Okay. Room's clear.
I have to do a bit of looking. I just saw someone come in here and then they disappeared, so I guess watch the entrance. And
Is there?
Neri will
So-
begin feeling along walls, baseboards.
Okay. So what kind of check are you trying to do to get some information here?
Secret door check.
Yeah, secret door check. I guess investigation.
Yeah, that seems the most appropriate.
Ooh, hell yeah, natural 1
Okay.
or 6.
As you are looking around the room, I mean, quite obviously, there's kind of a central structure here. You see this visage of like some kind of prophet or something like that. This looks like a visage of the Forge Father. You basically see someone like in robes, kind of wearing this, almost like this veil of someone that's living in poverty, like downtrodden, kind of holding his hands out. You could see just like thick calluses and like in the stone, there are cracks within the hands themselves. And there's this symbol beneath this individual where it looks like this stone etching of 3 concentric rings. And as you're kind of feeling around, you find this mechanism and you're like, okay, this is clearly something. So you go to touch it and interact with it. As soon as you touch one of these rings, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
21.
Okay. So you take 2 points of psychic damage. And there's like this zing of like this powerful headache that comes and goes, but you get the sense that there was something that was, you resisted something that would have been somewhat disabling. And you definitely get the sense that you don't want to touch whatever this is. As you focus on it, there's something interesting about the rings. There are carvings within the rings, like all around, that looks like maybe they could be lined up to make a certain pattern, but it's not something you understand. It's not a language that you understand. This maybe looks like kind of a magical thing. Beneath the statue, there's this sigil that just reads, "No hands may pry, no blade may carve, only the will that moves without motion."
Well, that hurt. Anybody got any ideas? You okay up there?
You just see the Forge Father smiling down at you.
Maz, this is some magic. Doodad. You think you can pump it full of juice?
Yeah.
I will try, and Mazarin is going to attempt to connect minds or speak telepathically with the visage.
Okay. So remind me how, let me look at your character sheet. How does this work? Can you cite like the feat or whatever that allows you to do this?
It's telepathic connection. You have telepathy within range of 5 feet.
Oh, and you can just do that whenever?
Yeah, it's just a
There is, so this is not like a living object that you would typically be able to telepathically communicate with. However, there is a response to you concentrating on it in that way. And you kind of get the sense that your telepathy right now is like a key that is not quite fitting the keyhole. So it's receptive to it, but there's something that's not right.
Mm.
And your mind is kind of brought back to those concentric rings that you feel some way or another are out of focus. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Looking at the hash marks on these rings, they look like they are fractured runes. Go ahead and give me a straight Arcana check.
That is a 10.
10. So pretty clearly you get the sense that these are runes of some sort, but it is hard to see how these would line up or how to interpret them in their configuration right now. They look like they're misaligned on these with these rings.
The runes are on the ring and they're on the rings and they're misaligned. Are they
Yeah,
movable?
well, they're not runes. It's like if you lined up the rings in a different way, like imagine 3 rings within each other. If you lined them up in a certain way, it looks like they would connect to create runes. With that Arcana check, you can't really make out exactly what they would connect without moving them.
Okay. Can I attempt to move them?
Yeah, are you gonna stop her?
He'll just say, won't you mind if you grab it? Sort of felt like a bucket of ice water.
Okay, she's gonna attempt with her psionic. I'm gonna use my telekinetic propel to see if I can move them that way.
Okay. Give me a straight intelligence check.
Intelligence. Natural 20.
Hey.
Okay. You use your propel, and as you do, you watch as the rings just begin to move, and just like they all begin spinning in different directions, and there's like stone shearing. There's a little bit of dust that comes off this thing. Let me see. I'm gonna roll somebody roll a luck dice for me. Give me a d20.
6.
Okay. You get the sense that was the right move. Way too much force to try to get any fine motion of this thing. You do get the sense that no harm came to you from doing that, though. So using your psionics seems to be a way to interact with this thing. Your mage hand would probably give you the fine motor control without that level of oomph.
Okay. So I'm gonna attempt again with Mage Hand.
Okay. So go ahead. So as you do with Mage Hand, you realize you can totally move these runes around, such that in the center, when you do, these do make. It's like a little puzzle where they do make some kind of rune. Now, with that in mind, give me another Arcana check. This time I'll give you advantage now that you have the ability to move these around, to see if you can decipher these runes. And I'll say Sal, who's here, is going to try to assist and give you a d4 as well.
Okay, well, I just rolled another natty.
Jesus.
Okay.
Wow.
So once you realize how these are coordinated and how you can move them, by basically moving the middle section, like rotating it one time, and then just doing the permutations of the top and bottom after that, you can quickly identify that there are there are 6 runes that all seem to correspond with a emotional state. You can basically only pick like one rune. The different ones that you can pick from, I will link them in the chat.
So you're saying there's 6 rune combinations?
Nope. There's a combination that can make one of 6 runes.
Okay.
So you're kind of getting the sense that there is a password that is one of these that you can pick from.
Resolve, doubt, hunger, obedience, clarity, and fear.
My money would be on obedience.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Okay, let's go for obedience.
Okay, you click it into place.
Yes.
Okay, it clicks into place, and there's no immediate change. Nothing has happened. You recall that as you did your telepathy, you begin to wonder if now the mechanism would be receptive.
If it would be, if it would be receptive to,
To your telepathy now.
okay. So I'm gonna try to connect minds again.
Okay, you begin to connect minds. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Ooh, intelligence saving. Let's go, another natty. No, that was a 7 plus 13. Okay, an unnatural 20.
Okay. So you get this immediate ping of pain, and you take 2 points of psychic damage. You got the sense that the mechanism was beginning to budge, and then it hit like a trap, and you get that ping of psychic damage, and you resisted a potentially deleterious effect.
Okay. I don't think it was obedience.
Is there... I know this is a crypt, but is there any scripture around the room? Nary's going to start investigating for clues more so than
Sure.
traps.
Give me another investigation check.
Right. 13.
13. Okay. You do find a few scattered portions of scripture. You see something that was written by the Forge Father. It just says, "I give my name, my wage, my will, my everything, all to the founder." You see another that, again, seems to be something that was by the Forge Father. It just says, "I shall want for nothing, for the machine provideth all that I am fit to need." So you don't necessarily see anything that is meant to be a specific hint to try to allow someone to find their way through. You basically get the sense that if someone was unable to read arcane runes, there would be, this is like a combination lock, where unless you knew what shape to make, it would essentially be impossible to get through to this thing. And even if you were adept at, if you're like an expert in Arcana, it's not like they're trying to make a way where someone clever enough can guess their password. This is a password that's meant to keep people out and potentially harm those that try to get in.
I'll take those 2 pamphlets, books.
They're etchings.
Oh, they're etchings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will give you a third etching, by the way. And this one is going to be a little bit more central to the statue itself. This actually looks like it was like hand carved, almost like vandalized into the base of the statue that you happen to notice just because you've got such a sharp eye. It says, "The gears of revelation turned not to move the world, but to measure its flaws."
What? All right.
So, are you wishing to attempt a different combination? You're getting the sense that whatever trap is in store is kind of getting more and more deadly. But both of you so far have resisted the effects.
Chuck,
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna. Any suggestions? I was gonna try resolve.
Yeah, I mean, probably just go through the list.
Okay. So you spin up resolve, and you attempt to commune with it.
Yes.
Okay. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, jeez.
We're gonna end
The
up in
DC
one
is
shot.
a little bit higher.
16. Okay, that's a high roll. 16 plus 7 is
Okay, you're
23.
fine. You're fine. Well, you're somewhat fine. You now take. Oh, where's my? There we are. Oh, that's embarrassing. All right. Oh, here it is. Right. Nope, that is not it. Sorry, guys. There is an increment of dice that I do not have all of a sudden. Oh, found it. You take 2 points of psychic. Okay, I know that everyone's taking the same amount of psychic damage, but every single time this thing's been tripped, this thing has been ramping up. So you take 2 points of psychic damage, and you once again resist like the main effect of this thing.
Okay. I feel like I can't turn away now, so I just kind of want to keep going. Let's go. I don't know, hunger or clarity. It's just random at this point.
We're brute forcing it.
Yep. Clarity.
Let's try clarity.
Okay. You spin up clarity, and you're going to commune with this thing?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, make an intelligence saving throw.
$15.
Okay. As you brace yourself for whatever comes next, the device spins and clicks, and there's this thud, and the founder, the Forge Father, looking down at you, smiling, begins to rumble and moves backwards, revealing a secret passage underneath.
Ooh, okay. All right, shall we?
Yeah.
Well, we got there. Now, what's the plan? What's the plan again?
The plan is we're gonna kidnap someone who never came, so we're just sort of flying on the edge of our seats right now.
Okay. Neri reaches down into his leg holsters and pulls out 2 daggers.
Okay. So with this in mind, who is going down?
I'll go.
Going also.
Is anyone staying above?
Poking our head down, is there a way to... is there a way to open it from the inside? That we can see?
Give me an investigation check.
19.
There does not appear to be a way to open it from the inside. This seems like a one-way passage.
Can Luminara open it? No,
You
she
don't know.
was- Can I ask her?
She says, I don't know. I can use she casts a spell. She casts a mage hand to attempt to manipulate the dial, but the dial appears locked as the rumbling of this device is, as it's in its open position. With that, it's now been about like 12 seconds. There's this just pregnant pause in the air. You're getting the sense that this device seems like it probably closes on its own, and that might happen shortly. So, what are you all wishing to do? Are you
I'll stay up
Going
top
in.
for
in?
now. Yeden will stay up top for now. Just in case anybody heard the noise and they come running, I'll stay up top. Don't worry though, I'll make my way in.
All right,
Okay.
Mazrin, let's go.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone else pops in. Okay, with that, the device begins rumbling and begins moving back into place as you kind of just step back so your feet don't get crushed. With that, you find yourself in a very dark chamber. There is a stairwell that just leads down further and further and further into darkness.
Is it like an unseeable darkness, like we're blinded essentially?
It's not unseeable, and there is flickering of faint light. It looks like there's either candlelight or some kind of like flame that is lighting and casting shadows against the wall.
I'm gonna start going down the stairs. Stealthily.
Okay. As you begin moving down the stairs stealthily, once again, all of you, including you, Yeden, are hit with this just like sense of doom and vulnerability that is very difficult to shake. Like you hear your hearts beating to pound as it feels like something is interrogating your mind. And with that, in your heads, you all hear this voice. Position.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, what?
It's kind of garbled and hard to hear. It seems like it said you are out of position.
Cool. I look at Mazrin. We might need to speed this up.
Okay.
I start
Uh,
moving at a pace that's not quite as stealthy, but
Okay.
also not like running and loud, you know.
Okay. As you begin moving down the chamber, like that sensation goes away, and then once again it comes back with even more intensity. Like you feel like to the pit of your stomach, like that feeling when if you're on a roller coaster, you go down a heavy drop where it just feels like your stomach just moves up into your chest. Um, and as you do, you hear once again, it's not sanctioned. City, yet still descend. And the sensation goes away.
I caught not sanctioned. Is that all Mazarin could make out?
It's again difficult, but it just sounds like whatever this thing is just warning you to stop. And it seems like you're beginning to get the sense that since you were in the like staking this place out, that this thing was aware of your presence, whatever it is.
One, it seems a little more concerned. So Charles is going to continue to push on.
Okay.
Because we're obviously on the right path.
Okay. So as you push on, you descend into a chamber that appears abandoned. You see some stone rubble that looks like it's from the construction of the temple that sits above you, but you are in a subterranean structure right now. You're in a cavern. There's piping above you that seems to be making a network, like a hydraulic system within this subterranean cavern. And you can hear water flowing. Like it is moving quickly. With that in mind, this is a pretty large cavern system. There's nothing in this first chamber. Just, again, it appears to be abandoned. You see some like oil lamps that are scattered around that looks like at some point someone was here, but again, nothing for now.
Mazarin,
Yeah.
can you call Yedden and tell him to get down here?
Mazarin sort of rolls her eyes and just goes, I honestly don't know, but sure, let me try. I don't actually know if I have the capability to communicate from that far away. No, I only have a range of 5 feet.
Charles is gonna run back up the stairs and
Okay.
knock on the entrance thing.
Okay. Yeah, and you hear this like distant hollow knocking.
He's very quiet.
After a brief pause, yeah, it continues.
Okay. He will hesitantly attempt to move through the statue.
Okay. Chuck, you get this cold sensation as you see this ghastly form of Yedineric just appear in your face as you just like
Holy
lurch
shit.
back from getting a jump scare.
Fuck, dude.
So,
Scary shit.
thank you. You
Alright.
you felt that too, right? The talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think we're on the right path. But there's a big old cavern system down here. And I figure, well, it might be fun to explore it. And that you might want to come with us.
Yeah, let's walk and talk. We're kind of stuck exploring it. There's no way out, at least not the way we came in.
It's kind of what I figured.
All right.
So we get back down. Is everyone here with us? Mazarin, Luminara, Saul?
Yep.
I mean, Mazarin is, obviously. But... Alright. So, are there different caves, or like tunnels, hallways?
There's pretty much, this turns into a T intersection where one leads kind of deeper into this cave system, and the other just looks like a vague, like, ritual area.
I'm gonna grab one of the lanterns.
Okay.
Is it on? Is it? Can I make it light?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
it's light enough in here. You can see. Once again, you get that sensation, and that voice enters your head.
Understand this. I think each of you, your titles, your seal, your mandate, issued from my glorious mind. If I am fallible, then so are you. If I am compromised, then your appointment is an error.
Cool. That's heartwarming. I'll take the lead down the hallway, not the ritual way. Lantern left hand, pistol
Okay.
right hand.
Okay. As you begin to peek down a long chasm, you see what looks like a small subterranean lake, and you see a bunch of clerics in their white robes, just like holding their hands out towards the center of this lake, just reciting prayers. Some of them look like they're speaking in tongues, and you watch as one of them just like takes a bucket of this water, like holds it above them, and then just begins bathing in it. There is a series of these pipes that are going all around these caverns, kind of traveling up the roof or the ceiling of this cave system. And you see as it goes over the like lake itself, which is maybe about like 50 by 50 feet. And it looks like at the top of the lake, there is this point in the pipe where the structure is damaged. And it's wrapped in some cloth such that there's just this very subtle and steady dripping of the pipes into this lake. Within the center of this lake, you feel like your vision is drawn to this specific area as this shadow begins to grow. As it continues, you now see something that looks like it's maybe almost as tall as the chasm itself. It's maybe 40 feet tall and 20 feet wide. It's like this massive conglomerate of shadow that begins to manifest these dark, like screaming faces within that all appear to be like trying to get out of this central face.
Very cool.
And once again, you see this thing screaming these words at you as once again it seems to enter your mind. It almost has a little bit more like a note of frustration as it continues to speak to you.
Interference here casts doubt on your own legitimacy. And legitimacy in this empire is a fragile thing. You build a system founded on nothing but belief.
you notice at this point, in the wake of this shadow, kind of standing right in front of it, just staring into this darkness, the heavily armored Thassan Elvire. He's maybe about like 80 feet away.
How many other priesty dudes are there?
You count 6.
Plus Mazrin? Or what's his name?
That's
Elvire.
Elvire?
Yep.
So 7 total? Okay. I look back at the group. I mean, there's not really another way out of here. Looks like we might have to fight it.
No.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I think we should.
Then what's the
light on.
plan? I put the light on.
I think just start looking around for alternate routes. Is there anything that we can see?
Give me, just because you're doing this in kind of a time-sensitive fashion, give me a... Oof. So, to be honest, not really. You're stuck between like a dead end. You can go back the way you came, back towards the chamber. You can... The only other way out is basically you need to approach this lake and see if there's a it looks like there may be a chamber to the west of it, but you have to cross Elvire and this shadowy mess to get through that. So
Okay.
it seems like you may be cornered unless you can think of a way to come back the way that you came.
Well, no one's seen us yet, so maybe we should just hide.
I mean,
and
you definitely get the
observe.
sense that that shadow thing is looking right at you.
I don't think fighting
So-
is our way out of this.
Okay.
Maybe I can... How quickly and how quietly can you two move?
I can move pretty quiet.
I can do my best.
Alright, the chamber, there's a large lake. Is it butted up against the walls of the chamber, or is it in the center, like, sort of being surrounded?
Why don't I just show you? So I will change my screen. Change. So this is what you're looking into. So you would all be around this area here. There's no other... There doesn't seem to be another way out. Over here, there's like a structure up here and a dead end over here. And then that's where you came from. So heading over here, you see this massive shadow. You see Elvire over here. And maybe there's a way out or back up to the surface over that way. But otherwise, you don't appear to have a great way out.
Where are we on this map?
You would be right kind of under where my cursor is right now.
Okay.
Well,
As you are presumably in a panic, kind of pondering your options, this thing once again speaks to you, and as this happens, you watch as Elvire looks up and begins to turn in your direction.
Suspect Elvar, yet fail to grasp the architecture of necessity. Come, speak with us. I will bargain with you, Letterman.
Well, fuck. We doing this?
Well, yep. Mazarin's just gonna start walking up to the lake.
Yeah.
Okay. How close are you all going to get?
I mean, not too close, but close enough so that Elvar notices us, or
Yeah,
we
I
can
mean,
have a
he sees
conversation.
you coming.
Give me 30 feet.
Okay, we'll say you kind of naturally, I imagine, might head towards an area of cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Sal might keep something between him and the stuff. We'll say maybe you fan out a little bit. Luminora will take point because she's the tank.
Yep.
So, with that, Elvire just takes out this large greatsword that he has and just like buries it within the kind of wooden dock that he's standing in, where it sinks about a foot into it. The tip of this blade being razor sharp, clearly enchanted as well. As you see these glowing runes as it hits the wooden deck, the runes light up and then it just begins to sink through the wood like it's butter. I will say, Mazarin, go ahead and give me an Arcana check at advantage.
Uh, 19.
As you look at this just ghastly conglomerate of shadow in the center of this lake, you are getting the sense that the psionic signature from this thing appears to be coming from deeper within the dungeon. So whatever this thing is, you're getting a sense that it is like a manifestation of something else's power. By the way this thing is talking, some of you may have a sense as to what entity this thing is. So with that in mind, you are getting the sense that the size and appearance of this thing is kind of attempting to appear in such a way that it is threatening. And you're getting the sense that if this situation turned into a combat situation, it may not be like a completely hopeless thing. Like whatever that thing is, you may have a chance of actually defeating it if you went about it the right way. It's definitely like trying to make itself appear bigger and scarier than it is. But it is still the manifestation of a very extraordinarily powerful thing. So,
Neri's gonna sneak up real closely to Luminora, and behind her. I can hide behind someone that is a size larger than me, so I'm gonna try to do this while hiding in her profile.
Okay. We'll say that to do that, you kind of have to put your hand on her back, and she just kind of like stiffens at the discomfort of touch, but you're kind of having to really like nestle in back there. Okay.
I'm gonna pull out the rope of climbing.
Okay. Where do you want to send it?
Nowhere for now.
Okay, it's just ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it takes a while, but yeah, nowhere for now.
Okay. With that, you once again hear the voice.
Selected by me, as you will be useful. I need to remain useful. Your Ledgermen require answers. I will give one to you.
At this point, you watch as Elvire steps forward and says, if we can agree on ending this investigation, I will turn over all relevant information and I will submit my resignation and surrender to the mercy of the Ledgerman. As he's giving you kind of a cocky smile.
Well, that's not something that someone says if that doesn't play into their plans, so, no. What is that thing? Are you working for the Oracle?
We all work for the Oracle, whether you know it or not. You, of all people, should respect that. Gaze upon your creator, Ledgerman. And he smiles, looking back towards this thing.
But you'll surrender? Right here, right now?
If you meet my conditions, yeah.
Which are?
We will agree on the report that you will make to the Ledgerman. And you will do everything in your power to ensure that Marion and the rest of the Ledgermen do not send any further investigators into the Sanctiforge.
What's to stop us from taking you into custody and just offing you?
He just shrugs and says, "That's a good point." And he just picks up his sword and like rests it behind his back.
The rope begins snaking up to attach to like a... I guess
There's a series of pipes above you.
a sturdy looking pipe.
With that, Elvire just says, he doesn't seem to notice, and he just says, "You know, the Oracle has a point. If it did indeed select you, you have been chosen by divine providence. Are you really going to raise a hand against your creator? If you do, what happens to you? Let's say you succeed and don't die a horrible death down here in these caves. You destroy and delegitimize the very thing that appointed you all as Ledgermen."
I think you
In an-
misunderstood what I said. We say we're going along with your plan. You resign. We arrest you and then murder you. What's
He
to stop
shrugs.
that from happening?
He shrugs and says, "If that is how you seek to use the position that was granted to you, then I would be powerless in your hands.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing to our divine creator here?
I did nothing to the divine creator. It was the creator that opened my eyes as to the corruption within the Sanctiforge and showed me the way to purify the minds of the people here and get back to the roots of what made this place great.
So what's
Faith.
with the vampire mind flayers?
Admittedly, an ugly but necessary solution for a temporary problem.
Where are they?
They are a feeding source to sustain the Oracle.
What, you're feeding them to the Oracle?
Something like that.
Fucking gross.
The bureaucrats within the Divinorum do not understand the machinery crafted by the founder himself. These politicians don't care about the hearts and minds of the people. They care about their own interests. They want to keep their positions of power, and they want to build their empires within this great one, like parasites within a much larger creature. They have let the Oracle fall into disarray. This machine requires constant upkeep and care. The dissidents that are sacrificed to it are not enough to sustain it. And if the Oracle dies, the whole machine dies with it. And I'm the only one that seems to understand that. So, I will admit, we had some miscalculations in our attempts to repair the Oracle. And some people have got hurt. And I will carry that with me through the afterlife. However, it does not justify an interference with something that is much larger than all of us. So the way I see it, you've got a choice. I will again surrender the information. I will formally ask the Ledgerman to appeal to the board of directors and ask that more resources be allocated to the maintenance of the Oracle within the Sanctiforge. And their engineers will do what they can to repair this great creation. And all the ugliness and badness that you've been seeing within the Sanctiforge will stop. And the Ledgerman will stop harassing my people. And that's how you're going to report it.
What's better for the Empire itself? Keeping this Oracle as it is, or whatever you're trying to do to it?
I assure you, I am not doing anything to the Oracle. Feel free to commune with it yourself. And he just steps back.
Guys, it doesn't seem like that bad of a deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Neri will walk up from behind Luminora,
Okay.
leaving in his place, tied to the bottom of the rope, a noose. And he'll walk up to the water's edge.
Okay.
Not try not to pay any attention to Elvire.
Yeah, he is very much like giving you a wide berth here to let you.
I'll follow Neri to the water. You know,
Yeah,
I thought the Oracle would be less scary.
we say,
As you approach, you watch as the faces are like bubbling, like they're boiling, and it just begins to shrink and shrink and shrink, and then it becomes shrouded in shadow. And within the shadow, you see a familiar face. You, for whatever reason, you have a hard time remembering a name, but it pops up. Yosika. A beautiful human female that somehow you remember. Charming, funny, wearing the leathers of a long forgotten sixth house before its current iteration. And as she's just congealed in shadow, she begins to walk towards you over the water of the lake and just says, Yedin?
now you'll. Hello?
I thought this form might be less off-putting than the one that I previously chose.
Oh, I don't like that. Alright.
Well,
that's
searching
fine.
your memories, I can't find a more pleasurable form to take, but I'm open to suggestions.
Oh, wear the skin of the dead if it makes you feel better.
With that, the shadows congeal once again, and it reapparates in the appearance of Marion. This ought to feel familiar. So, Yedin, let's talk about how to move forward here. You all see this, by the way, and you can all hear this voice as well. Let me first say that you've all had quite an eventful commencement as Ledgerman. Look at the position you're in. You're in a pretty high seat at the negotiating table. Your choice here could shape the future of your organization and perhaps even the sacred machine. It's a lot of responsibility. I hope you choose right.
Okay, this is weird.
It
Whose
doesn't
side are you on?
seem. I am on the side of the founder's vision. I am on the side of salvation for all, or at least those who share in that vision.
So why'd you pick us?
There's silence, and Marion just gives you kind of a cold look. Why indeed? Let's move on because the hows or whys don't matter. Here we are. Because you were chosen, we are now linked. Our fates are intertwined. And discrediting my years and years of service to the founder, while being heretical to even mention that would also be against your very own interests. And I've looked into each of your minds, and I can say with confidence that you don't have the most noble of interests. So it's difficult for me to see why you would care so much about continuing to pull on this thread.
Maybe they're right, Chuck. I mean, we were just sent here to do a job. He like tries to whisper to you. I really couldn't care if this thing strengthens or brings down the Empire. I just want to get out of here alive, you know?
I get it.
Do you know what the typical function of the Oracle is?
Not really.
Pulling dissidents.
Very good. So you can see the surprise of most of the Empire when I made the decision to be proactive about choosing some that are not dissidents. Let me ask you, were you nervous when you heard that you were chosen by the Oracle? Did you perhaps suspect that a day like that might come? When your dissidence coefficient rose high enough to be selected?
I don't think that happens to very much people in Britannia. I wasn't worried.
Well, I appreciate your faith, but I could make it happen to anyone I choose. All I have to do is generate a number. Something to keep in mind. And I wonder, how much would your organization miss you if they were suddenly given an answer to the thorn in their side? Do you think they'd defend you?
I don't think we have that kind of relationship yet. New employees and all that. He faces away from the Oracle. I don't much like that thing being in my head and all, but at least I've made up my mind. There ain't no reason to kill you. Not really. Not yet. So, the rest of my
You
group agrees.
watch as Marion cracks a smile that is too big for her face. As entertaining as that may be, I think that is a very logical conclusion to make. So, let's do this. Tomorrow, midday, Elvire will turn himself in to your organization. He will plead guilty in whatever court you hold him to, and he will turn over information as to how he acted alone in spawning some of the various mutations that you've been sent to deal with. These mutations, of course, you won't be seeing anymore with the Sanctiforge. The scriptorium will go back to hitting its quota, and the rest of the cities and the rest of the agencies can go back to forgetting that the Sanctiforge even exists, and they can continue thinking of its people as just faith hounds that continue to write their books and enchant their scripture. And you all can go back to your lives before you knew that any of this existed. Oh, that's right. I suppose you can't. Because you're Ledgerman now. So, do we have a bargain, or is this going to get messy?
Nary raises his eyebrow at Maz and Chuck.
Seems like a good deal to me. What do you think, Maz?
Mazarin just sort of lifts up her hands and says, I don't want to be a part of this any more than you guys do. Yeah, we'll take the deal.
And one final note. None of this is going to be shared with Marion. So, do you think you can pull this off?
Yeden just taps the side of his head, facing Mazarin. I think we've got the intelligence to play this right with you. Not, get you or myself or anyone else in any more trouble than needed.
I agree.
So, Mazarin, do you respond to Yeden as he turns towards you and taps the side of his head?
He doesn't even turn, he just as if he's using that gesture to talk to
Yeah.
Elgar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, the Shadow Marion just steps a little bit closer to you all, now stepping out of the lake onto solid land. Very well. It sounds like you have a deal. You will be handsomely rewarded, and you will have taken in Sanctiforge's dastardly criminal mastermind without spilling a drop of blood. Excellent work, my little Ledgerman.
So do we get out of here?
Yeah, do you mind opening up the door? We're kind of stuck.
By all means. There's no door, just a series of stairs. The cloister maidens, pay them no mind. They'll let you pass. And you watch as she just gestures towards the west entrance that's just past the lake.
Well,
So
see you
with
soon,
that, you all
Elgar.
begin to walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just has a big smile on his face and is nodding. So, with that, you begin making your way out. As you do, you reach a point where it looks like there's a fork in the pathways, where one leads up and the chasm begins to turn into an actual marble structure where it connects with the temple. The other leads deeper into the bowels of this cave system.
Ooh. Much as I want to go down. I mean, shit,
Yeah.
do we go down, guys? Or do we just leave?
So, as you all hit this fork in the road, I might just, as the narrator, kind of chime in with my own opinions here, but I would imagine that a lot of these characters have this yearning for investigating more, getting to the actual bottom of this, and having that conflict with the logical part of them that says, but why and to what end? After hearing all the things that the Oracle had to say. it's offering you an answer on a plate. You can spin this story. It said it would behave and that it would appear that though you have accomplished your mission here. And, that's payday for you guys and gives you a chance to get out of this crazy city and move on to whatever awaits you next within the Ledgerman. There's also the point that there is some uncertainty as to if there is something wrong with the Oracle, what that would mean for you all. Because again, you were all pretty heavily investigated in your commencement with the Ledgerman, and this was all pushed aside because the Oracle chose you.
I think driven by the sense that whatever the Oracle was manifesting from was not what it appeared to be, Mazarin would probably take that fork in the road and just go see what else is going on down here.
So Mazarin is kind of as you hit this crossroads, it seems like Mazarin is inching towards the pathway leading deeper into the cavern.
Now, above the table, for what Neri would know, the Oracle is like it's like a very important part of the Empire's workings, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
It is made to pull people that would work against the Empire out.
That is one of its main functions, but in the scripture, it's kind of described as like a divine artificial intelligence, where essentially the founder, it's almost tied directly to the founder, whereas there's the founder who is a god, and there is his work, which is also considered in a way to have like godhood itself. And it's almost given like a like anthropomorphized, where like his work is often described as like a he/him creation, with one of the key inventions of the founder being the Oracle, which is like a central cog within his divine machine. So no one exactly knows the nature of how the Oracle is utilized, but it is essentially like a deific level intelligence that presumably is pretty deeply embedded within the logistics of the FETC.
Okay.
And I mean, the point it was making is that, I mean, to a lot of people may sound pretty reasonable, which is like, hey, the founder built this huge company, this huge church, this huge network, and there are bad actors within this thing that have lost their way. And they have neglected the founder's work, one of that being myself, the Oracle. So it's kind of a pretty big philosophical deep dive. I don't know if that answered your question of what you...
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide how Neri feels about this. He'll take a sigh and follow behind Mazarin.
Okay. Eddie, above the table, I'm going to download you on everything that you missed, because this was a hell of a...
Yeah, it sounds like that's pretty deep.
So
where it stands right now, from what it sounds like, is we can either dive deeper into this thing, or just kind of move on and do the next mission, or the next task at hand.
There was kind of a pretty big revelation, which it seems like a big force at the bottom of all the weird stuff going on in the Sanctiforge
Yeah.
is this entity that claims to be the Oracle, which, if you recall, is the entity that selected you all as Ledgermen.
Yes.
So it's essentially like this kind of artificial machine demigod that the founder
Mhm.
created, that is also the same machine that picked your niece to die because
Yeah.
it identified her as having a dissidence coefficient that was
Yeah.
high enough.
Yep.
So this same machine is basically, it is, as you have entered its lair, it has confronted you guys and basically said, here's what's going to happen. If you continue to pull on this thread, I am going to get hostile. And even if you succeeded, which is highly improbable, you would be discrediting yourself because I'm the one that elevated you all to the titles of Ledgerman against like everyone else's wishes. And if you
Mhm.
discredit me, then your appointment to being Ledgerman is now suspect.
Mm. Okay.
So it's saying Elvire is going to turn himself in and say that he acted alone in doing all these things. The Ledgerman gets their person to hang, you guys get paid, and then you move on and never come to the Sanctiforge to investigate this thing again.
Oh, so we can never come back here?
Well, you could, in theory, you could come back, but it's just saying like it doesn't want the Ledgerman meddling in its affairs.
Okay.
So it's kind of giving you a patsy in Elvire,
Mhm.
basically. And that was the deal that your party told it that it took. And now you're at a crossroads where you have this easy like win. You can go back and say, job done, get paid, and move on. Or if you feel like you want to, you can continue to investigate this.
Okay. Above the table, I understand how everybody, I kind of want to dive deeper, but this is very early on, and I feel like we could move into something this deep a little later on. Once we could find more resources, I guess, if we chose to take this path. Just this early, it seems a lot more dangerous. Like
I'm going to
this,
say, scratch that from the record. I don't want you to think about game balance or anything like that.
yeah,
Think about your characters and what they would do. If your characters would want to go collect more resources or whatever and come back, sure.
yeah.
If you wanted
That's
to
where
like,
I'm thinking Saul's mind would be at. Like, I'm itching to know more. Honestly, fucking dying to, but trying to think logically right now. I feel like we have more time, and we should utilize it in a different way
Oh, we can always split the
than just
So-
party.
diving right into this. So I'm thinking not going deeper into this.
so far, Mazarin and Neri are kind of inching towards the dark chasm.
And I'm all
Sal
for that, but
is
I'd rather
conflicted.
think logically.
Charles is gonna not even inch toward it. I'm just gonna start going down deeper.
Oh, jeez.
Overruled.
Oh, Charles is going into the darkness.
Yeah.
Right?
Charles doesn't believe that was the Oracle.
Okay.
So he's gonna explore some more.
Okay. With that, Charles just begins, and you're going on your own?
If they're gonna follow, they're gonna follow. If they're not, fucking, they're not. But it looked
Okay.
like Neri and Mazarin were wanting to go this way. So, seemed like somebody needed to take the first step.
Okay. So with that, Charles just begins, he just slowly disappears into the darkness, moving deeper into the subterranean levels of the temple. Some of you hesitating, maybe some of you follow. And with that, yeah. With that, we are actually going to end here just because we have. I want to give everyone a chance to be at the table to interact with this moment. And when we come back, we'll see what the group does, whether they push against this entity's will and move deeper into the danger of what lies below.
Those.
Versus making their way out to regroup or take the easy W that was offered.
Mm-hmm.
It is an easy W.
We don't need it.
So
We
I
want
think the easy W would have been smarter.
We're
In my
not doing the
opinion.
smart thing.
Dude, this is
We're not,
not
doing the
real
safe
life.
thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking. I don't care when it happens, but Charles is going down in a blaze of glory.
No.
Well, yeah, being young and reckless has got to be tons of fun.
Edward, you have a baby. You're no more fun.
I'm thinking character-wise. I'm not thinking me-wise. Me-wise, yeah, I'd go for it. I don't care. But no,
Your character's
character-wise,
old.
I'm an old man that has seen a lot of shit, and is like, take your time. We have plenty of time to figure this out.
We don't. We've only got a week.
I mean, yeah, we
We've
have,
been given a time limit.
we have more time.
We
But
were.
Yeah.
well, you were essentially given a week before it looked like you guys are going to get benched,
yeah.
and a different set of ledgermen would be coming through here.
So we gotta take advantage of this week. And that means deeper.
We know the way out now. We can always run if things get
Yeah,
really
yeah.
bad.
That's true. The other option is still there to skip on out of here.
You know.
Chuck,
Intact.
not afraid to run. No qualms about
So you're saying that
retreating.
once we go in, you're saying there's no door that's going to close behind us that we can't get back out of.
Oh, we already
Look.
went through that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that already
Yeah, we
happened.
did that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hopefully there's not another one.
Dude, whatever, man. You know we need explosives.
Yes, and I have bomb.
Real explosives. We need like plastic explosives. Get some.
That
Where's
is
the